What's going on YouTube? Wade with Wade's Ventures here, and today we're going to be doing a review on storagetreasures.com, which is a site that I use to purchase storage lockers from the comforts of my home. And for those who don't know me, my name is Wade. I'm with Wade's Ventures here on YouTube, and also Wade's Ventures on Instagram, where I'm heavily involved there as well. And long story short, in my spare time, I sell on eBay and Amazon as a reseller, and storage lockers is the way that I got started on eBay. And it's a good way to purchase a lot of merchandise at once than to resell online. So I wanted to do this quick overview of storagetreasures.com and kind of go over, a few pluses and minuses of doing it online versus live, and also introduce you guys to this site if you've never bought a storage locker, especially if you've never bought one online. So without further ado, we'll get started here. This is the main page. What you would want to do is create a free account. It's completely free, doesn't cost anything. Once you create the accounts, then you want to find out if there is actual storage lockers going up in your area. So what you'll do is you'll put in your zip code, which that is actually my zip code, and I will then go ahead and search. So it will bring up the storage locker auctions within your area. So we will go ahead and click on, for example, we'll go ahead and click on this locker here. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview. Long story short, you have all these storage locker facilities all over the US. And what happens is sometimes people simply can't pay their bill, and it is sad, or they get incarcerated, or unfortunately they pass away, or there could be many different reasons why people lose lockers. Now, once that happens, the facility needs to get rid of that merchandise, and so what they have to do is they have to put it online or a live auction in person, and they have to do a live auction legally. So a lot of facilities are kind of turning towards online auctions because they don't have to have the auctioneer come out. They just basically can set all these online and take a few photos on sites like storagetreasures.com. And I do occasionally purchase online. I do prefer in person, but we'll go over that. So we've clicked on our storage locker here. You can zoom in on the pictures, which is highly recommended because you can see what products are behind there. Now obviously you can't see everything, and you couldn't even if you're at a live auction, but you can go through these pictures. Sometimes I wish they would have more pictures. In this case they have a decent amount. They also have when the storage auction is ending, which is going to be in 12 days. They have the facility here, and you can click on it and it will tell you the address and the phone number. They also have a few information here like sales tax. I'm in Oregon, there is no sales tax. They have clean out time 72 hours. A little tip, if you need more time, just speak with the basically whoever is running that facility, and they possibly may give you a few more days. It also has the unit size, and this is important because this is going to tell you how big the storage unit is, which will then probably require a bigger truck or a bigger box van or whatever you're using to haul away the merchandise. Now, down below they do have a brief description of what is in the units. Now, most facilities now will actually open the door with one person, and then there'll be another person that actually takes the photos. That way there's an integrity system. Now, again, I can't vouch for every facility, but I do know that the majority of them will do that, and they're pretty top-notch. I'm sure there is a few issues, but all in all, I've never had any issues ever. So it will kind of give you the contents here. This is what typically they're not supposed to go in the unit, and this is what they can see with their own eyes, and they'll put that here. Now down below it has the option now to bid. I am actually going to go ahead and place a bid to show you guys. Now the bids are $10 increments, so every $10 you can bid. Now you can bid by $10, or what you can do is you can set your max amount. For example, if I put $100 and that's the max amount I wanted to spend on this unit, if it goes over that, then you'll get bid out. But if it goes, let's say, to at the end of the 12 days, it goes to $60, you will then have to pay only 60. You won't have to pay the full 100. But that full 100 will make it where you don't have to go back and continue bidding. You can kind of put the max amount that you're willing to spend. So we'll go ahead and put $20 because it's a $10 increment here just to kind of show you. And you'll go ahead and bid on the unit. Again, you don't need a tax ID. You don't need any special licenses. You don't need any of that. You can be anybody that bids on this. As you can see, it says, congratulations, I'm now the high bidder. And I'll get an email sent. Now, keep in mind, the next person will need to bid on this unit above me. I know 100% I'll get bid out because this unit will go, there's a few things in here that are worth more than $20. But that being said, you kind of want to look at the photos. You want to see if it's neatly organized. Obviously, this one's not. There's couches. You need to be prepared when you're looking in these units, and we'll go over that in later videos. But obviously, there's stuff kind of laid everywhere. You want a unit that people take care of their stuff. That's boxed neatly, stacked nicely. This unit does have that ladder, which is worth more than $20, and a few other items. So you kind of want to really spend a lot of time looking through this. A lot of times you can see boxes and some merchandise, and you can kind of look online and see what it's going for. But that being said, you'll put in your bid. You can also go up here and add this to your watch list if you don't bid, and you can add as many of them as you want, so that way when you go through, you can kind of monitor the bids. You scroll down below, they do have some information here you can read, and we'll go over that in a later slide here. All right, so that's basically it. You basically just plug in your zip code. It will show you, all the auctions in your area, and these are online auctions, and then you can start bidding. Now, the good thing about bidding online is it's not a pressure situation. You're not there with a bunch of people live bidding. So sometimes it may make sense for somebody new to storage auctions, without feeling pressured, because you can set your own price and walk away. At a live auction, you may spend more than you're used to because you get caught in the moment. This, you can really take your time, look and see what's in the units, and bid. So that's definitely one plus. And then you can also see auctions coming up. I don't know. There's a few auctions coming up in different locations. So that's kind of cool. Now, one thing that Storage Treasures didn't have, and now they do, is live auctions. Now, live auctions are not online. It's actually live in person. And so, for example, if we went to San Francisco, you'll plug in your zip code again, and you'll go to live auctions, and it will plug in some stuff close to you, right? But the cool thing here is what happens when these facilities put these auctions, these storage auctions up for sale. They have to put it in the paper or the classifieds legally. And so a lot of times when you have to find these storage auctions, you have to look through all the papers, and it's kind of a hassle, and they're kind of hidden. Well, this site is going to categorize everything and put it really neatly there in front of you, so you can kind of see, when the auctions are, without surfing through a bunch of papers and classifieds. Now, there's other sites that will give you more in depth, but for example, you put in your zip code here, and it will show that there's a live auction at this address, and it will tell you the date and time that it will be happening. And that basically is tomorrow at 12:30. So that being said, it's really cool because this is a free way you can look at live auctions if you would like to go in person, or online auctions if you would like to stay at home and bid on these lockers. And keep in mind, live auctions, there's, again, pluses and minuses to both. I prefer live because you can see the merchandise in front of you. And it's just a better atmosphere. Sometimes you can get cheaper units, sometimes they go more expensive. So it really depends. It also depends on the area. I'm here in Oregon, so I'll pay a lot less than somebody there in San Francisco or LA, for example. So you got to know your area that you're in as well. Now, that being said, let's kind of go over the basically what it costs to purchase a locker online on this site. So we kind of already registered. Then you search for the auctions in your area. Now, basically, there is three things that you need to be aware. One, if you have the free account, which that's what I recommend, it's actually 15% of the final bid price is the fee. So basically 15% of whatever the final price was that the auction ended, that's the fee that will be owed to Storage Treasures. And then on top of that, there's also a 10% upfront fee. So for example, if the unit went for $100, they're going to bill you on your debit or credit $10, 10% of what the bid price is. Now keep in mind, you're not out that $10, so when you go to the facility, you'll give them 90 as opposed to 100. So now if you do sign up for the premium, which I don't recommend, it's actually 15% for the amount, the final bid price that goes to the, or excuse me, it's 10% for the final bid price that goes to the facility as opposed to 15. So it's only 5% cheaper, and it's $10 a month or 100 a year. And I almost recommend not even paying that, just paying the 15%. So that being said, you do need a credit or debit on cut file. So they'll charge you either the 10 or 15% if you're a premium member or if you're just a free account, and then the 10% of the final price up front for the actual locker itself. But again, that's just an upfront cost. When you actually get there in person, you'll pay 90% of what the locker ended at. You don't need a tax ID, and you cannot retract your bid, so be really careful when you do that. And you can cancel your membership anytime, obviously, if you have the premium. I don't recommend it. And what happens is when you win, you'll get an invoice. So you'll go to My Account up here, and then you'll get basically an invoice of the locker. So you can, as you guys can see, it's been a while since I bid, but these are some of the storage lockers that I've been on. So you can kind of go through here. This is a watch locker that I'm watching, right? So you can watch a locker and kind of see what the current bid is. You can also go here and see bid auctions 1. This is an auction that I actually paid $460 for and won. And so you can kind of go through here, and once, you know, obviously this is a really cool area where you can actually add watched auctions as well. So, and if you go to info here, you can get some more information. There is general information and, you know, some training and stuff like that you can go through as well. So all in all, guys, pretty good site. They have great customer service. I've called that 1-800 number and had no issues at all. The things that you'll need for the storage locker if you do win one is you will need gloves, trash bags, and you will also basically need a lock and key, because if you can't pull all that stuff out, you'll need to be able to lock the locker behind you if you're going to go the next day. And a little tip, guys, don't get one lock and key. If you're planning on doing this later on a larger scale, you'll probably want one key for multiple locks, and you can purchase that anywhere where that's one key and like 4 locks. So that way you don't have multiple locks and multiple keys. Now, before you actually bid on the locker, you need to understand that there's going to be a lot of stuff in the locker, right? And it doesn't look like there's a lot, but when you start pulling it out, it's actually quite a bit of stuff. You'd be surprised what people can jam in lockers. So that being said, look at the unit size. And if you don't have a truck or a way to haul the stuff, what I used to do was use U-Haul. And you can pay $19.95 for the vans or the trucks, and then you pay per mile. The best way to do it is actually if you've got a Home Depot. I've learned that Penske trucks are actually cheaper than U-Haul trucks. But that being said, you need to understand how you're going to get the stuff out, who's going to help you, find out, you know, how big the unit is, you know, how many days this is going to take you to get the unit out. And all those things need to be, you know, pre-planned, because what's going to happen is you're going to go there and you're going to realize there's more stuff in there than you realize. Another thing too, guys, and I'll create another video that goes more in depth. This is just kind of a quick overview. But when you basically go to the unit, A lot of people will surf through the items there in the units, pull everything out they want to continue to keep, and then leave everything they don't. And then the next day or later that day, they'll pick up all that stuff and take it to the dump or Goodwill for donation. So that way you don't have to bring everything that's in the unit to your house and go through it in your house. There may be some things that you do that with, but that way you can kind of keep the garbage behind, donate it, or trash it, and then just take the first load of everything you want to keep back to your house. So that being said, guys, that's the quick overview of storagetreasures.com. If you felt that this was a helpful video, please thumbs it up. That lets me know I'm doing a good job, and also lets YouTube know and other people can find me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me here on YouTube and or Instagram. And if you have any questions about storagetreasures.com, please let me know. But again, it's a really good site to purchase storage lockers online. And some of these units go for really affordable prices. So you can take the family there and kind of, get your feet wet with something here, or you can go live. So that being said, guys, this is Wade with Wade's Ventures. Have a great rest of your night, and thanks for watching. See ya.
Now 30 video, 30 video, 30, 30 now, 40 video, 40 now, 50 video, 50 video, 50 video, 50 now, 60 video, 60 video, 60, 50 here, 60 where? 60, 60, 60 video, 60 video, 60, I'm 50 here, looking for 60. Video, 60 video, 60 video, 60 video, 60 video, 60, 50 here, 60 where? 60, 60, 60 video, 60 video, 60, I'll let you 55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 50 here, 55 where? 55, 55, 55, 55 now, 60 video, 60 video, 60 video, 60 video, 60, 55 here, 60 where? 60, 60, 60, video, 60, video, 60. You'll like it better than your money. Video, 60, video, 60, video, 60, video, 60, video, 60. So, $55.